So my history is pretty unique. My opportunity to study with the Romeros was very unique and probably not replicable anymore. What was unique about it is they were not only great guitar players, but guitar collectors. They loved guitars. And they had, among the several of them, hundreds of old instruments. The goal of the Luthier Select Series is to make some part of that experience possible for people around the world who are not going to have the chance to play an original Torres or an original Hauser or now an original Friedrich or an original Esteso. So my dream is to make more of those guitars that I loved to people around the world that are curious. What was an Esteso like? What was he building? And barring the opportunity to try an original, my thought is that I can bring something very close to a person to learn to appreciate the builders of the past. When the opportunity to create Cordoba guitars came up, it was to bring some of that DNA into a moderately priced guitar made in Spain and sold in the United States. It was the original concept. And one of my objectives was to get modern makers to make guitars a little bit more like in the old style. And so with the experience of working with other luthiers, I hired one luthier, Eddie Blochinger, and I asked him to come with me to Spain to teach a Spanish factory how to build guitars in the style of the late 19th century, early 20th century makers.
We wanted to have guitars made like it's been in the 1890s through 1920s, meaning fan braces, lightweight, and we even went so far to show the people in Spain how to French polish.
So last year, I had the idea that after the success of the Master Series and the 4 builders that we were producing at the time, I wanted to build some of the other great makers that I'd had experience of and loved, and we realized we didn't have the capacity to build both the Master Series and continue to add to that. We met somebody who could help us manufacture these in a larger setting, and Kenny Hill was working in China at the time. And he convinced me that he had spent these last couple of years training a factory and that they could make a guitar that we would be very happy with.
The Chinese are incredible workers. And I don't just mean that they work hard, but they're really conscientious. There is an underlying culture of excellence in China.
So the first thought was to move it to our best workers in China who had formed a very small workshop in the context of a slightly larger factory. And the goal was to teach them, as we had taught builders all around the world how to make replicas, how to make guitars in that style, we encouraged them to study these guitars. And the 2 we began with were the Esteso and the Friedrich. So that took several months of development, and we produced the first Esteso guitar in 2019 in both cedar and spruce, duplicating an instrument that I had owned some time ago. I started this business 20 years ago to bring classical guitar to a wider audience. And with the Master Series and the Luthier Select, we built some of the greatest replica instruments in the world today. I'm incredibly proud of my team. I'm incredibly proud of the builders who've helped us achieve that. And I look forward to many years ahead to explore more of the great masters, making more fine instruments.